Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify for podcasters or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch us on YouTube. We're still here doing our thing, showing faces. You can see our Yankee stuff on. So it's definitely, we are back and better than ever, as Mike Greenberg used to say with the Mike and Mike show way back in the day. Back and better than ever, and ready to talk Yankees baseball, Major League Baseball, power rankings, all that good stuff. It's been interesting the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of good storylines. Yankees have been playing well. We'll get into all of that. I did say we will get into all of that. So we got Mike on the other side there. Mike, how the heck are you tonight?
Doing good, Dave. Seeing through the yellow haze of this Canadian smoke. Ready to get that out of here. Some of those pictures from New York City were downright apocalyptic yesterday.
Yep.
Citi Field and Yankee Stadium both cancellations. Obviously, even Washington canceled today. The Phillies canceled. So, air quality, an issue. They're wearing a lot of the players today's Yankee White Sox game are wearing masks to warm up. I think a couple of White Sox were actually wearing masks during the game. So interesting time that way for sure. When you said, Dave, we're back, I thought you were going to bust into a little back in the New York groove.
One
of the all-time vibe songs. That's a good song, man.
Yeah, I didn't quite. I clearly don't have my music groove on yet. Now I'll have to be thinking about it and work that in somewhere else here.
But the Yankees have been battling the NL West and some AL West teams here. Took 2 out of 3 against San Diego at home. They went out to Seattle. Took 2 out of 3 against a very good Mariner team. Played well. And had an off day last Thursday, Dave. And Friday began a series with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we'll pick up right there. Coming into the game, the heavy hitters, there's one of those ambulance chasing type attorneys around here and probably around where you live too. Their name is the heavy hitters. The heavy hitters have done it again. Call 1-800-LAW-1010. Free commercial for the heavy hitters.
Yep.
So we get Stanton and Donaldson back. And, things are looking good rolling into the game. And the Dodgers jump us in the first inning.
Yep. Clunk. Absolute clunk. Luis Severino gives up 6 runs in the first inning. Just looks awful. They're just smashing the ball all over the place. Just not good. And then
Mookie Betts 2 homers.
Betts goes 4 for
Clayton
4.
Kershaw, a turn back to clock type of outing. Although he's had a very nice season for his age and wear and tear for sure. I didn't expect him to be pitching at this level this season. So.
No, 7 innings for Kershaw, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, just the 2 runs that he gave up. Not a great start, but Mike, as you mentioned, getting some people back. So Donaldson goes 2 for 4, hits 2 home runs. Stanton hits a home run. Tommy Kahnle was back and he pitches a scoreless inning. He's still working on things. I heard Susan Waldman today saying that she talked to Kahnle and he is just going to keep throwing. I believe she said this changeup, and he's going to keep throwing it until he gets the right feel for it. So he's working on that.
Because when you match it with a fastball, devastating.
Yeah. And so it's good to have him back because the bullpen, the injuries are just, I don't know. They were equating it to 2019. But my gosh, I don't know. It feels at least that bad, if not worse.
the Braves the other day released old friend Lucas Licky, and I was thinking, boy,
Oh no.
how valuable was that guy to us past few seasons? Just eating innings in the middle,
Yeah.
And I'm sure we wore his arm out, and that's why he's not effective for anyone else.
Oh
But
yeah. We used to say rubber arm on the
right,
podcast.
right.
So yeah.
Poor Ryan Weber, he comes back and then gets hurt again, and it's just the injuries keep piling up. And so Saturday's game turns into a win for the Yankees, Dave, 6-3. But speaking of injuries, this is the game where Aaron Judge decided that the Dodger Stadium could not hold him, and he makes a spectacular catch, crashes into the gate, throws it open. Despite all the reinforcements on it, they did a nice piece in the inning after about the amount of force it must have taken. But he hurts his toe on the little ledge there, and subsequently now has ended up on the IL. So really tough to see. Getting all those guys back and then Judge going out is just it just sucks. It just sucks, buddy.
Yeah, very interesting. I saw John Boy break it down. And I guess I hadn't watched it that closely to see. I was thinking he just hit the wall, but where his toes hit, there's like a concrete like
a
lip at the bottom, right? And he ends up hitting that with his toe. And that's
right,
what
he wasn't at the wall. It was an actual gate that was closed. They run, equipment.
Well, no, I heard it's not even a gate. It's just the wall.
Oh, right. It appears to be a gate, but
it looks like a gate, but it's not. So that goes to your point about the amount of force that it had to take to push that open. It's not a gate. It's just the wall.
Right.
But yeah, so it's tough. Like you go back and forth about, well, you love that he makes the play and it's so exciting, and it takes away a sure double from JD Martinez and all of this, but now you're going to lose Judge for 15 days or more, and is it worth it? So I guess we have to.
Well, I heard your guy Susan Waldman asking that question, and
my guy Susan Waldman.
Yeah, he's got a really deep voice. Are you going to change the way you play? You're going to take it easier and not take chances? And he said, no, I play the way I play.
No, I know.
When you do that, you end up getting hurt. The right answers he gave to that. So actually a terrible question. In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things I feel like they need to ask.
Sure.
But what the answer is going to be. So why ask it?
Right. So here's a stat for you. Not really a stat. Harrison Bader, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge have been in the lineup together this season exactly 0 times. Zero.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Right. 3 of your 4 projected starting outfielder DH types, and they just haven't been out there together. So right now, Dave, can you name the Yankees 5 outfielders?
I was thinking when I saw this the other day, right? So you end up with so what you had today, you had Billy McKinney in center.
Yeah.
You had
Calhoun.
Bowers. Calhoun was at DH. I think you had Bowers in right and Cabrera in left.
Right. And the backup was
IKF. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is not this is not your World Series winning New York Yankees outfield by any stretch of the imagination. Now, that being said, Calhoun has hit well. Cabrera has not hit. Did
you hear this story? The poor kid gets sent down after the Seattle series.
Yes.
Flies into Scranton, drives to Allentown. As soon as he gets there, back out to the West, please. Poor kid.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'd rather be in the majors. I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So there's that struggle. LeMahieu started out really hot in the beginning of the year, and he's cooled off tremendously. I heard Susan Waldman say he's striking out 27% of the time this
Oh,
year. And like the 3
gonna be
previous
way-
years, it was like 13%.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be way different than his
Yeah.
average.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're definitely, the challenge is you have the injuries and then the guys that are in there are not producing. At Volpe, I think is having my impression of him is he's having a tremendous year. But he's hitting under 200.
No, I think he's having a very good year for a rookie. But you're right, the average below 200 looks rough up there. But
yeah,
do you have that list of players Steve sent us with the less home runs than Anthony Volpe? While you're looking that up, so this Saturday night game or Saturday game, 6-3 Yankees. Garrett Cole gets his 7th win to go to 7-0. Clay Holmes his 6th save on the season. Matt Grove for the Dodgers gets the loss. And like you said, Bowers hits 2 home runs.
Local kid from Newport Beach, California. So that's exciting for him.
Yeah, very good. And this game was one of those days that was comfortable from the beginning for the Yankees, like the night before was comfortable for the Dodgers.
Yes.
You do have, when Cole comes out, though, they pulled Cole after 80 pitches this game.
Yeah, but he ended up with a cramp. We found out after the fact.
Right.
But yeah, you and Steve were obviously pretty, bent out of shape on it, which I totally get. You're trying to win a big game against a top team and a long time.
And it wasn't obvious at all that he had a cramp. They had to tell us because we didn't know. And then the poo-poo platter came in and had one of his few rough outings where he didn't record an out.
Yeah.
But
all right. So I have the list when you're ready.
Okay. Anthony Volpe has 10 home runs, right?
Nine, I think, right? Okay.
And the following players have fewer?
Yeah. Volpe only has 9. This was as of Monday this week. So he has more individual home runs than the following players. George Springer, Xander Bogaerts, Alex Bregman, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa, and Dansby Swanson.
Wow. And so none of those guys have been hurt either. They've all been healthy relatively this season.
I think Springer might be the only one who's been hurt early on. And thanks to Steve for sending that to us.
Yeah.
Think about that, though. You have Dansby Swanson, Carlos Correa, who signed, and Xander Bogaerts, who signed enormous contracts in this offseason. Corey
the literal
Seager,
free agent crop from this past offseason.
Yeah. Corey Seager, just a few years removed. Springer, same thing. I can't remember exactly where Bregman's. I don't know that he's on a huge. He might be one of the only ones there who's
a year away from the big one.
Right. Yeah. So there's tons of money tied up. And again, back to my point about how good of a year he's having, to have more home runs than all of those guys is pretty tremendous.
I think he's playing solid defense. Some rookie mistakes, but sure. Very good base runner, exciting, the kind of kid and athlete you want to have around this team for sure. So
definitely.
Anything more on the Saturday game?
No, I think you got it. They get the win to 6-3.
Everything looked good there. Cole, pitching wise, Holmes with the save, just the Judge injury in particular, just sucks because anyway. I just feel like we haven't been healthy in like 5 years, Dave. Am I like?
Yeah. No.
Am I justified in that feeling?
Oh, no, I think so.
So frustrating.
But I think the challenge is it's not just the Yankees. I mean, we focus on them because they're our team, but the injuries in the last few years,
True.
And that's across all sports. It's not just baseball. It in a time where I can remember even not that long ago, and people still say this, when you try to compare generations of athletes to each other and you say, well, if you're going to go back a bunch of years, these athletes didn't have, you look at the Mickey Mantles and, well, they didn't have, the medicine and the
training,
care and the training
right,
and all of that stuff.
365, right.
And, so they missed a lot of games. Well, we have all of that stuff to like the nth degree now, and we still can't keep these players healthy.
I think I don't want to go down a big rabbit hole because this could be its own podcast, but I believe that they're not allowing players to play with injuries anymore either, unless it's the absolute and playoffs and World Series. Whereas if Mickey Mantle's knee was sore, well, pop an aspirin and a shot of whiskey and get out to center field. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nowadays, I felt a little tingle in my shoulder, or my pinky's got a cramp, and you're out for 10 days.
Yep.
And I understand teams making huge investments in these players. But anyway, we way digress and then hit the brakes before we go down to Alice in Wonderland and go back to Sunday, Dave, with a nice tidy 4-1 Yankee win to take this another series, 2 out of 3 in Chavez Ravine. And this was a nice game. And this is the one where Volpe hit the home run to kind of take any pressure off.
Yes.
In the ninth.
Correct? Yep. In the ninth. Yep. They're cruising along, scoreless into the 7th inning. Herman gets into the 7th inning and only gives up just the 1 run. He's been very good. He was good before the suspension, and he has continued after that. So he's been great. Yeah, the Yankees, they get the lead 2-1 after 8, and then Volpe comes out and gets the 2-run home run. It is just really, really solid. Some interesting stuff, Mike, in the 9th inning. Peralta, it comes in the 8th and gets an out, and then comes in the 9th and walks the leadoff hitter.
Right.
And I'm watching the game. This was the ESPN game. I'm watching it, and I'm like, you just don't do this. Don't like choke away this. Right. You've played 2 really solid games in a row. It was Will Smith. And then Peralta just does his best Andy Pettitte impression and just picks him off.
Yeah.
And just a tremendous quick slap tag a la Don Mattingly from Anthony Rizzo at first base. The Dodgers challenged it. And they had a great angle. Oh my gosh. And just the way Rizzo's legs were, that you could see right through, and you could see his glove stop the hand of Smith. But just a tremendous play.
It's worth challenging because the game's over. So
it's the 9th inning. You definitely do it.
But
and it was bang bang. But
no, I was very surprised. A fundamental mistake by Smith like that.
He was way off of first base. And Peralta, kudos. Nice step and throw. And again, Rizzo was right there. And that kind of took the air right out of it, I think, as far as the Dodgers go.
Yeah.
You're thinking, we got a guy on, and Peralta wasn't even close, and you're like, oh geez, he's gonna walk the park and blow this. Nope.
So the night before, you had the poo-poo platter, or Friday night, the poo-poo platter blowing up, and Clay Holmes getting the save. Here you get Clay Holmes with the old backdoor win. Because it was tied when he came in, and then Peralta with the 4-pitch or the 4-out save. So beautiful. We'll take it. And like you said, Volpe hitting one late and just taking a little pressure off to make it 4-1, and a nice win, a nice series by the Yankees, a nice West Coast trip for sure. 2 out of 3 in
Seattle.
Seattle, 2 out of 3 when they were at home against San Diego, 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. And then
tons of Yankee fans in LA.
Oh my goodness,
tons of
yes.
Yankee fans. I mean,
Especially
Volpe
the
hits
late
that home
arriving.
run. Oh
Yep.
my gosh. You just hear the Yankee fans going crazy.
I think it was Michael Kay said on the broadcast one of the times, Yankee fans, you can hear them a lot early because Dodger fans don't know what time the game starts.
Right.
They don't get there to the third end.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. But yeah, a couple of great series in a row for the Yankees. And yeah, we just, God, could we get healthy, please? You know?
Yes, please. So the Yankees get air qualityed out on Wednesday. They cancel the game because of the Canadian. Someone left the blue open in Canada, and the smoke's just killing us. So doubleheader as we're recording today, Dave, on Thursday, and the Yankees did lose the first game to the White Sox 6-5. We won't break it down now, but doubleheader. So another game tonight, and we're starting the rookie, right? Somebody.
Yes, Randy Vasquez.
Randy Vasquez. Thank you. I'm glad you pulled that for me.
Yeah.
And they got Giolito going tonight, right?
No, Mike Clevenger tonight. Giolito pitched the Tuesday game that they lost 3-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need some hits, and the Clevenger and the White Sox bullpen is certainly right for the taking as far as offense. So hopefully the night camp will even it up and go on to take on the day of the Red Sox this weekend.
Yes.
At home, 3 games. Then at the Mets.
Yeah, you got Cole and Whitlock tomorrow night. Herman and Houck on Saturday. And Schmidt against Bello on Sunday.
Okay.
That is also ESPN game. So 2 weeks in a row with the Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball. Yep. Okay. Then a day off, and then
stupid
shuffle.
2 games against 2 games.
I know. 2 games in the middle of June, and 2 games near the end of July with the Mets. That is the schedule adjustment, right? You get 3 games with the Dodgers every year, right? And they'll alternate, but you only get 4 games against the Mets.
But I hate that they split it up because it doesn't feel like a series. 2 games it's not a series. Yeah. We don't have a series winner unless you sweep. But
and the funny thing, as I look at this, I guess I don't know where the Mets are coming from, but
your ass.
Yeah, sorry. They're very good. The Yankees, this series, it's they're at home and then they're going to Shea.
So the
series in July, they're at home against Kansas City, day off, and then they have home games against the Mets. So, but days off on both sides of both 2-game series.
Strange.
I mean,
I'll never understand the schedule making of Major League Baseball.
No, and the Yankees are in a stretch right now where they're not playing on Monday for the entire month of June.
Oh, really? That's an interesting quirk as well.
Yeah. Off every Monday in June. They don't play on a Monday until they play the Orioles on July 3rd.
So the Yankees need to make some hay here. You got 6, 8. So you got 6 games against the Red Sox and 2 against the Mets. 8 games in the next week and a half here.
Yep.
Against teams that are not playing well. Certainly the Red Sox, Chris Sale, not that he was effective, but again, on the IL and probably done for the year. They just are a shell of a team that was a shell of a team last year. So, and the Mets are just the Metsing all over the place.
Yep, Mets have lost 5 in a row, 30-32. The Braves are beating them up.
Scherzer can't get through 5 innings. Carrasco sucks. It's just bad. It's just not good. Nobody's hitting. Alonso gets plunked on the hand last night. He's the only one really having a good season at the plate for them. Sterling Marte is always a stud.
Yeah, but Lindor has been bad.
Yeah.
It has not.
Well, McNeil all of a sudden forgot how to play defense. I mean, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
then,
as we ask every week that we record anyway, 8 games coming up, Dave. How many do the Yankees need to win to be a successful 8-game stint against their 2 most bitter rivals?
Yeah, they got to be 6-2. I mean, it's
right.
It can't be worse than that. And that's hard because these games are going to be emotionally way more charged
It'll be interesting to see how long the Red Sox games take, because one of the biggest complaints about non-Yankee Red Sox fans is that the games, are 4 or 5 hours sometimes, especially in the playoffs when they used to be able to change pitcher every other pitch, and it just got crazy. But even their regular season games historically have been longer than any other opponent. So with the pitch clock and all the new rules, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in these games. But all right, buddy.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was going to say, they've already played the Red Sox. No, that's right. These are the first games against the Red Sox all year. So as always, Mike is right on top of that and calling it like he sees it. So it will be interesting to see that. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all night games in New York. So we'll see how that plays out. But Mike, power ranking time? Or do you have a couple other things?
I got a couple other things, some goofy stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not even goofy. I saw this was interesting. The American League and National League early top 5 rankings for Cy Young Award this year. I won't ask you to give me all 5. That would be tedious. But let's start in the American League, buddy. Who do you think they have listed as a top 5 Cy Young candidate?
Well, I think right off the top of my head, you have Cole, you have McClanahan, and you have Nathan Eovaldi from Texas. Those would be the 3 that come right off for me.
They have McClanahan 1.
Yep.
Nathan Eovaldi 4.
Okay.
And Garrett Cole not listed.
Interesting.
Which I think is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. It's got to be
Framber Valdez.
Oh yeah, 5. From Houston. Yep. That makes sense.
Eovaldi's 4.
Don't tell me Ohtani is up there.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Kevin Gausman from the Jays at 3.
Okay. He's
pitching to a 2.76 ERA. He's already got 100 Ks. Having a good season.
Somebody from the Orioles?
No. The Minnesota Twins. Former New York Yankee, Sonny Gray.
Oh, Sonny Gray. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's at 2. He 2.15 ERA, 71 strikeouts, 1.22 WHIP. So off to a great start. But I can't believe Cole's not up there. But his ERA and WHIP numbers, because he had that one game that he blew up big. Yeah. And that hurt those statistics.
Yep. So. Yeah, he doesn't have enough innings yet to balance that out.
McClanahan's just been the best pitcher on the best team, and it's just simple as that. National League, you want to throw some names out there as well? These are
I'm trying to think. No, not Kershaw. I had some. There's somebody on Miami, right? And it's not Alcantara. No. Okay.
Nope.
I'm at what's that?
There's 2 from the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
At number 5,
Strider.
Strider's 2nd.
Yep.
In their rankings, and then number 5, Bryce Elder.
Oh yes, Bryce Elder. Yep.
1.92 ERA, 56 Ks, and a 1.16 WHIP. Number 4,
Zach Wheeler.
No,
He's got a no hitter tonight through 7 innings against the Tigers.
Who does?
Zach Wheeler.
Huh? Mitch Keller from the Pirates. I was not totally aware of his performance. I knew who he was, but
yeah, the pitching carried the Pirates to their early season great start.
93 Ks, 1.05 WHIP, and 3.25 ERA. So Logan Webb is 3 from the Giants, having a nice season. Strider's 2, and number one of my favorite pitchers, future Yankee, hopefully Zach Gallen from the Diamondbacks, who is just 2 seasons now of just tremendous baseball. So
future former Yankee. It's so funny.
So I just thought that was interesting. I ran across that, and I always like to test you a little bit. So
no, it's a good one.
Dave, did you see the ending of the Tigers White Sox game the other night?
I don't think I did.
When I start describing, if you did, you would know. Tigers pitcher Jose Chinzero, he loses control of the pitch, hits the umpire square in the face mask.
Yeah.
The ball rolls up the third baseline. The umpire is flat on his back, and the White Sox score the winning run on that play. Runner from third scores to break the tie and win the game for the White Sox. And so you have this very awkward.
Was it Angel Hernandez? Could you please tell me it was Angel Hernandez? We couldn't be that lucky.
I have it here somewhere. It's not Angel Hernandez, though. I know that. But anyway, just the umps down. The
CB Buckner?
Nope.
We couldn't be that lucky. Okay, enough with that. I need to stop calling out the umpires.
No, that's fine.
So the winning run comes home from third.
Winning home comes home. The umps laid out legs akimbo on the ground. All the other umps are running to him. White Sox are like, it was Moncada that scored the winning run, and he's brain dead. So he's like jumping up and down like they won the World Series. Meanwhile, this poor umps, the ump got up, and it certainly was cobwebby, and they helped him off the field. But it was just a weird scene. Speaking of weird scenes, Dave.
That is a strange ending.
One more, and then we'll get to the power rankings.
All right.
For me, anyway. Of course, if you got stuff, bring it. This was going around social media about a week ago. Maybe you saw the worst way to lose a high school championship game in the history of sports. Did you see this?
I think so, but I'll
run through it. So the high school championship in Texas, there's 2 outs, 2 strikes on the batter. The offense is trailing by 3. They have the bases loaded. Bottom of the last inning. So as last pitch a scenario as there is, you're losing by 3, all of that.
2 ball, full count, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, down 3. Right. Got it.
Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. However, the ball hits the ground and short hops the catcher. Catcher catches it short hop. The catcher throws the ball, rolls it up the third baseline, and the defense, thinking they have the third out and they just won the state championship, is dogpiling on the pitcher's mound.
Oh, no.
The umpire clearly put his finger to the ground to say the ball hit the ground, and then made a safe signal.
Right.
The batter
live ball off.
Yep. Live ball. All the base coaches noticed it. So, and the kids in the dog pile can't hear what's going on. And the fans are screaming because they think they won.
Yeah.
And the coaches are yelling, go, go, go. Sure enough, the batter runner scores all the way from the plate, the winning run. Now they're dogpiling behind the plate, Dave. And you got double dog pile. And
double dog
pile. So the manager of the now losing team realizes what just happened and
Oh
loses
no.
his mind throwing bases. I mean, the whole Billy Martin, right?
You said this is a high school game in
High school,
Texas.
yeah.
Oh
I'm
geez.
not, the state might be wrong, but if you Google, worst way to lose a baseball game 2023, can you imagine the kids on that catcher I mean, he knew he short hopped it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and in retrospect, the ump did everything right. He's not
Yeah.
obligated to
Right. Point out
reinforce
that the
or right.
ball is, oh, you need to
Right.
go
He
get
made the
that.
right mechanic. He never made he made a safe call, not an out call.
Yep.
But in the excitement and the emotion, that happened. So
Wow.
anyway, speaking of excitement and emotion, number 10, I have the Milwaukee Brewers, Dave.
Oh,
I know.
I
34 and
just
28. They continue to pitch. They continue to scrape by and do some hitting enough to win, and lead this horrible division by a game against the
by a
Pirates,
game over
albeit.
the Pirates.
But
Yeah.
and they do have an interesting story. John Singleton got called up from the AAA team. He last played in 2015, had been suspended for a three-time drug suspension from the league. So got himself rehab, cleaned up, and is playing back in the majors. So good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
And the Milwaukee Brewers. So I have them at 10.
I have, and it's great. It's a great story. I have the Toronto Blue Jays at 10, Mike.
Okay.
35 and 28. Playing well, 8-2 in their last 10. Taking a couple games from the Astros. So that's important. They're showing that they can, play a little bit with the big boys in the American League. So I have Toronto at 10, Mike. And then this may surprise you. At 9, the Miami Marlins, Mike.
Really?
35 and 28, 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. Admitted not against the best competition, but hey, they're hanging around. I hate to say, they're doing better without Don Mattingly as their manager, but that's what's going on right now in Miami. And they have some talent. Look, they have some young players, and
sure.
And they're doing this. And Alcantara has not been good this year. So imagine if he could get himself straightened out. They could be really doing something. And they're only 3 games back of the Braves, Mike.
No, I definitely looked at them for the 10 spot. My sentiment for the Brewers took me over the top there.
Yeah,
but
as it does.
Yeah. Toronto Blue Jays are 9 for me.
Okay.
The only thing I want to add or make everybody aware of is they still have only played 25 home games and 35 road games. Their schedule is way out of balance that way. So they got a lot of home games coming up. So even though they're, 4th in the AL East, they got a lot of home games coming up.
Yep.
And a lot of talent. So 8, Dave, is one of the surprise teams in baseball is the Arizona Diamondbacks to me. 37 and 25, like I said. Zach Gallen is, I think, the National League Cy Young. They seem to just get this timely hitting. They're from first place in the National League West. So, that makes them legitimate right there for sure. I just think, they're playing well, 8-2 in their last 10. I like them a lot right now.
Yeah, and doing it on the road, Mike, at 17 and 11. Second best road record in the National League behind the Braves. So, Arizona, very good. Mike, I have the Dodgers at 8 because, hey, they are a game and a half back. They won last night against the Reds, but they had lost 4 in a row before that. Obviously, 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. They're coming back to the pack a little bit. I'm sure it won't last very long. But it's the Dodgers, and
sure.
gosh, I'm trying to think. Didn't they just have somebody that they just lost for the year?
Um,
A pitcher? Am I thinking about that right? Maybe I'm.
Dustin May isn't making it back from the IL, I think.
Oh,
Maybe
I
you're
don't know.
thinking that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Not off the top of my head, but that doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything.
But yeah,
Okay.
so LA at 8, and then I have Mike, our New York Yankees at 7.
Okay.
Just a slight tick over the Dodgers, really based on taking 2 out of 3
That's fair.
in the last series, as we talked about.
Yeah. At 7 for me, Dave, I have the Atlanta Braves. They'd previously been much higher for me, but losing 2 out of 3 of the A's, that just can't happen.
Yeah, you had them at 3 the last we did this.
Yeah, so that bothers me. The fact that they only have 3 starters right now. They're doing double bullpen, games. They can't keep that up. Michael Harris has not been great lately, for sure. But Acuna is probably number 1 MVP candidate right now. Certainly Strider and Elder are holding down the top of the rotation. So, and they'll get healthy and they always make moves. But for now, I have them down to 7, buddy.
Wow. And then who do you have at 6?
At 6 is the aforementioned Los Angeles Dodgers.
Okay.
I was going to ask, we were planning on maybe having Jeremy on today. I was going to ask him what he thought the most punchable face on the Yankees was, because I wanted to tell him that the most punchable face for the Dodgers for me now in 2023, JD Martinez. Screw that guy.
Oh, I mean, he's a former Red Sox.
Right.
What is,
just killing us all the time.
That's reason enough to do that. So,
but he is having a good season, Dave. He only had 16 home runs last season, and 448 slugging, and right now he's at 14 home runs and he's slugging over 600. So, got to give him credit. So,
yeah,
everything else you said about the Dodgers, applies.
Looks good. At 6 for me, I have Arizona, so a little bit higher there. Just based on how they've played, 8-2 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 5, Mike, I have the Astros. They had been, doing pretty good, and then they've lost a couple here. But 36 and 26, the run differentials plus 60. They're playing again against Toronto tonight, and they've lost 2 in that series, but they have been surging. They are playing much more like the Houston Astros that unfortunately we are used to seeing. So I have the Astros, Mike, at 5.
Yep. I have our Yankees at 5, buddy.
Okay.
I can't, as frustrated I am with the injuries, I'm super happy and excited for the way they're winning in spite of all that. They continue to persevere every year. The depth of the organization, everyone wants to kill Cashman, or at least there's a lot of Cashman haters. But
there is. Yeah,
the organization has to play at an incredible depth the last 3-4 seasons because of all the injuries every year.
Yep.
And so anyway, I like where we're at. We're 21-10 since May 1st. Only the Rangers are better since then.
Yep. Good stuff. And then what do you have at 4, Mike?
4 is, got to give it up, Baltimore Orioles.
Yes.
Just 2 games better than us in the standings right now. They're 20-10 on the road currently, Dave, which is tremendous.
Yep.
In 2018, they were 19-62. They didn't win 20 games on the road.
Yeah. Oh, they were horrendous that year on the road. Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
So,
What are you gonna do? Yep. They're awesome. They're great. 38-24, 6.5 back of the Rays. I also have the Orioles at 4, Mike. And then I have a little more confidence, I guess, in the Braves. I have the Braves at 3,
Okay.
where you had them at 7.
The Astros losses appalled me.
Yeah.
And on top of the injuries of pitching, I just had to drop them. But
Yep.
I understand why you
Yeah.
would say that. I mean, they're first place in the American League East or National League East.
Or the National League East, that one too.
Yeah.
Yep. They've
Both
won
leagues.
one 4 in a
brother.
row. Yeah.
No,
And we mentioned the road record at 20-10 for the Braves. So they're really taking care of things on the road. Mike, who do you have at 3?
I got our daddy, the Houston Astros.
Oh, yes.
Playing well. 5 out of 6, I believe. Getting healthy. Altuve's back. Bregman's playing well. Yordan Alvarez is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Framber Valdez continues to be the best pitcher no one's ever heard of.
Yep.
I hate it. But I got them at 3. At 2, the Texas Rangers, Dave.
Yep.
40-21 run differential. I don't have it exactly in front of me.
Plus 154.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's the best. Yeah, it's the best in all of baseball.
Wow.
I mean, Tampa is close at plus 135, but there's still quite a difference.
So only 4 teams have scored 300 runs so far this season, and the Rangers are at 355. They're first. Yeah. And the Rays are at 350.
Yeah, they're 350. Wow, they're on pace for almost 1,000 runs.
Yeah.
Those are
That's a lot of runs.
Those are historic numbers. I mean, some of the great teams are in the high 900s for runs, and they're well on their way.
They're doing all this, Dave, without their biggest free agent signing, Jacob deGrom, who you can take the kid out of the Mets, but you can't take the Mets out of the kid.
Apparently not.
Has to have Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
So I'd like to have a conversation about him after we finish our power rankings, and then we'll wrap it up if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're there. I have Texas at 2, and we both have Tampa at 1.
Yep. I mean, we can say about the Rays. They're still on pace for
they were
18 games. They're not as good as they were earlier, but still.
No, they were sleepwalking for a little bit, but now they've, started to get it back together. 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. They, beaten up Minnesota, and they start a series at home, Mike, against the Rangers on Friday.
Yeah, no, it should be fun.
So it'll be some fun baseball.
It's too early to be talking about Arise hitting 400,
but people are doing it. I think it's way too early. I mean, it's June. You can't hit 400 in October if you're not at 400 most of the year.
Right.
I mean, it's nice. It's a nice story, but
but way too early. Will he hit 400 this season?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go on a limb here and say no.
Say no.
But yeah, fun team. Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
I texted to our group the other day when he went on the IL. He could have been one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
But my question to you is he a Hall of Famer now? Let's say it's Tommy John, never really recovers, bows out. 2.5 years from now, we see tries to come back in the Tampa Rays organization, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen some things, and people talking about that. Without like looking at the numbers. I know he's got, multiple Cy Youngs and, some, great ERA years. My gut tells me no, just because I'm not sure that he has enough good years.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got his career right in front of me.
As you say that.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's an average. That sucks. All right. So.
Yep, I'm going to look at him too, because I'm very curious. I mean, one of the years that he won the Cy Young, like his record was not great. He hasn't pitched. He doesn't even have 100 wins to his career, Mike.
99, right? Or no,
84 is what I see.
84, yeah, you're right.
I mean, 1,300 innings, 1,600 strikeouts, sure. 2.53 overall ERA, 84 wins. There's no way.
Listen to, here's what gets me too. 2017 innings pitched 31, 18 32 innings, 19 32 innings.
No,
2020
no. Those are games.
Oh, games played. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are games
pitched.
But
games
but so
played.
yeah, but even if you're at
32 starts, 31 starts.
Yeah, 200. He was at 200 innings,
right,
which isn't horrible. Those but are really
point is
17,
in 2020,
18.
He only plays 12 games.
Which 60, right? 68 innings, 92 innings, 64 innings last year, 30 innings this year. Yeah. After 2019. So 17, 18, 19, right? Those are his like three, if you want to say those are three really good years. 200 innings, 31, 32 starts. Those are good years, but and again, I mean, he won the Cy Young one of these. I think it was in 18 when he was 10-9. Yeah. With the 1.7 ERA, which I thought was ridiculous. I'm sorry. You can't, and the team sucked. You can't give that to him, but 15-10, 10-9, 11-8. So
here are the final career numbers. I'll give it to you real quick. Okay.
Yep.
215
games,
right?
Yep.
Gave up 84 runs, had 0.99 whip, and a 2.53 career ERA. 84 wins, I'm sorry.
Yep,
57
that's okay.
losses, 9.9 whip, 2.53 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say Hall of Famer to me.
No.
I agree.
No. Again, I mean, it's he just has not played enough.
Right.
I mean, 215 games and he's 84 wins.
Could you imagine in 2019 saying Jacob deGrom's not going to make the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Might even make the Mets Hall of Fame. At this rate, unless it's like a statue.
So after those, he's won 18 games in the last 4 years total combined.
Wow. Anthony, we're not doing this to pile on. It's more of just a retrospective, and I think it's a comment on heaping praise and awards on these athletes, and we do it in every sport all the time now, way too early.
Mm-hmm.
And very rarely do they live up to it.
Yeah.
Most famous example, of course, is Tiger Woods. No doubt he's going to break the 18 major record that Jack Nicklaus held, and still does. Got to 15, seemed like he was going to cruise right by it, and here we are, or 14, and
got to 14, and he's won one since then.
The Master, but still could do it technically, but not bloody likely the way he was limping around last time. Nope. So same thing, DeGrom, not as obviously. Tiger Woods had his self-inflicted situations. DeGrom, just the injuries, man. I don't know. And
he's 34. I mean, he's gonna lose a year, and then some, with the surgery. So he's 35, 36. We've seen people come back. Verlander's pitching, he's 40.
He's got to come back and have a heck of a back end from 36 to 41 to make the Hall of Fame.
I mean, honestly, he would need another 100 wins. He's not going to do that.
No, not in 5 years.
And even at 184
people
wins,
don't get wins anymore. Now, wins is a less valued, statistic anymore, but still.
Yeah.
I was saying I didn't make my point clear about the injuries. Anybody can get
okay.
injured.
Yes.
Anybody can get injured. But for 4 years to not be able to get back in today's medicine, technology wise, and all the advancements and everything possible. So the question is it a failure of DeGrom's body, of his work ethic, which I highly doubt, or the doctors and trainers in the Mets organization? What's contributing to this? Because something's wrong, glaringly wrong.
Yeah,
For
and I think
4 years that you just talked about, 18 wins.
18 wins when he won 36 in the previous 3.
Right.
Right. I mean, I think it's a combination of all of those things. I don't know that you could point
to. You don't think
one.
There's one thing?
No, I mean, well,
can we just blame the Mets organization?
Please? I mean, you could.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the commonality is his body, and is just his body just not designed, and not able to take on the level of fitness that it takes, to do this for a long, consistent period of time.
Well, buddy, to wrap all this up in a musical quote, like American poet John Mayer said about Jacob DeGrom's body, your body's not a wonderland. Yeah, not good.
Wow, not good.
Wrap us up.
And neither
was my
was
performance. Tip your waiters and waitresses on the
yes, please do that. Neither was Mike singing. Hope you enjoyed this. We had a good time talking about the Yankees, power rankings, and how to lose a baseball game in 80 days or whatever, or 80 seconds. Devastating fashion. All the good stuff, all the good feels. Let us know what you think about this. Comments, suggestions, whatever, from our tens of fans. We want to hear from you. Let us know what we can do better. Let us know what we are doing good. We like to hear that too, here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5. Have a good night, everybody.